It's every car person's dream to have a garage at home where they can sit down in their spare time and work on their dream car build. And I think I've just found the ultimate kit car project. Let's go take a look. Vikash, take two. Sorry, that last recording stopped for some reason 15 seconds in, so that was great. So let's start again. So basically, I've known you for a little while now, through some friends of mine, or friends of ours. And the last time I saw you was at the Shea Smiles charity ball event, which was absolutely sick.
You looked a lot blurrier then.
Yeah, yeah, it was a little bit of a messy one. If you guys don't know about Shea Smiles, I'll tag it in the end. Great charity. And you came up to me and you basically told me that you built yourself a kit car. And you absolutely blew my mind with it, because first of all, I didn't know you were a car guy at all in that sort of way. And furthermore, the car you've actually told me you've built is insane. It's the absolute goat of kit cars. So tell me about yourself and your car sort of love, because I mean, I don't know much about your love for cars. And yeah, so where did it all start? How did it go? You know, and how did you get to this point?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think first thing to start with is my background's in software engineering. So I don't have any sort of formal education or formal experience working on cars necessarily. It's just out of love. But you know, when you're an engineer in one field, I think you're an engineer in all fields, really. So
yeah, it's that sort of mentality, isn't it? It's that mindset.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and you know, being a young boy, just always been into cars, kind of thing. So yeah, and things just escalated from being a young boy and going through having some sort of fun cars to wanting to do something a bit more dramatic, if you like.
A bit more serious.
Yeah.
So what was your first, what was that? It's like Jurassic Park out here. What was your first car that you got stuck into?
Yeah, so my first car that I really loved, the first car that I bought with my own money and sort of after university and wanted to work on, was a Mitsubishi FTO. It had the Mavic engine, which sort of, you know, had twin cam, dual cams and the switch over. So I used to rev quite high. So it was a lovely car. And yeah, I bought it off this kid who had sort of more money than sense, and you know, put like a kit on it, and he'd had like NOS on it, and he had neons on it, all the stuff that I wasn't ever going to use. But
I mean, to be fair, it's probably rare to find one that wasn't modified.
Probably, yeah, probably. But I did love that car. You know, had like all the works on it, and it was my first car that I actually did my own bit of work on. You know, started like tinkering with it, and didn't quite have the engine out, but did bits and bobs with it, and really got to love it. And, yeah.
And then, so you went on from there. What was the next thing after that? What was the next sort of?
Yeah, so after that, I had to sell that car because I was moving house. So I ended up getting rid of that, and I had a few runarounds in between that. And then eventually, the next car that I really wanted after that was I think it was an Audi S4. It was the 4.2 litre V8. So that was my first V8 car.
Yeah,
and yeah, that was really nice.
That's the best sounding Audi, in my opinion.
Yeah,
out of all of the S's you can find, the S4 V8 is.
Yeah, it was a lovely car.
There,
and I used to work in Wales. So I used to run up and down in that, which was a nice car to be in.
Yeah,
doing that.
Not great on fuel economy, but
no, but yeah, you got to have your fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about this project, because, like I say, I mean, there's a lot of kit cars out there, and of all of them, this is probably, I'd say one of the more difficult ones to do to start with, and secondly, it is the most awesome one to do. Like the Exocet is one I want to do, and I really want to try and raise the money to do it on this channel at some point, probably be a year's time or something. But this car is very bespoke. Everything has to be made, fabricated. A lot of fabrication goes into this, whereas ones like the Exocet, there's not much. You can just bolt on everything. So where did this idea start from? Where did the inception of it come from, and how did you get it past the misses? And yeah, how long has it been you've been working on it so far?
Yeah, that's an interesting story. So, I mean, I got to a place where I wanted to do more with a car. Actually, I was just interested in engines. I wanted to take an engine apart and sort of put it back together again and learn, you know, be a bit closer to the mechanical part of actually, you know, how it works and what needs to be done to putting it together. So as I started researching, you know, learned about this whole other world out there where people aren't just doing engines, but they're, you know, building their own cars from scratch. Yeah. And not necessarily just kits, but, you know, they're quite involved component build cars that you can build however you want, kind of thing. So once I saw that body and I saw this sort of how big that field was, I was like, I need that in my life. I want that body shape in my life. So yeah, I got into it from there really.
A lot of people, so many people go around and like, oh, it's just a kit car. It's like, yeah, you probably still couldn't afford it. You know, it's a lot of money and just the labor time. You're doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, you've had help from here, there, and everywhere. But you know, if you were to factor in how much it would cost labor time to build something like that, it's heavy money.
And obviously, you know, you can sort of go in at whatever level you want. So I really wanted to go on a journey and learn about it. So I wanted the best engineered and spend time learning it and doing as much of it as I could. So it's a serious investment, and it's not, as you said, it's not a toy car. It's a very expensive.
It's an expensive project, and as well, it takes time. You know, these. How long have you been working on this? Because this is like.
So I mean, I've definitely taken my time on this. Mine's been going for 11 years now. So but it's a serious amount of time. But again, for me, it was about the journey more than it was about just being able to drive have the car on the road kind of thing. So
I think that's the compromise though. When you're doing a project like this, it's time or money. You know, you can do it for less over a longer time, or you're going to spend a lot more money doing it quickly. So it's like you got that balance, and you know, if it's just something you're happy to do in your own time, like you have, you know, in your own garage, I think that's fantastic. 11 years is a long time, but it's nearly there, and you know, once that comes out, I'm sure you're going to be.
So you get people that build it in a couple, 2 years. You get people that build it even quicker than that, but it's each to their own.
And the fascinating thing is your garage as well. Your garage is super kitted out, which is great. I think every car guy, including myself, would love to have a garage like this where you can actually do a build of this sort of caliber in your home. And again, that's probably part of the build is also getting the tooling, getting the garage right. You know, as you go along, you realize, oh, actually, now I need more. Now I need a lift. Now I need this. Now I need that. So you start building that up. So
exactly.
That's also a big part of it.
Yeah.
Right. Let's have a look at it. Let's see what's going on. Right.
This is the GD427 Mark IV by Gardner Douglas.
And have you given her a name yet? That's the ultimate question.
I haven't. There's a name that I really like, but someone's already named their car that. And then I did ask on one of the forums what some suggestions for car names, and I think a lot of people get quite weird about that. Like some people say, give you suggestions, and some people say, why are you naming your car? That's a bit weird.
I tend to go by the sailor logic because, fishermen are notoriously superstitious for good reason. It's a dangerous job. So I think, well, why not name my car for the same reason?
I think that's a good justification.
Yeah. The only thing is, it has to be either a female name or an asexual name.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I think a name, whenever I have named my cars, and I have in the past, they've definitely been all female names. I think that just goes with any sort of powerful machinery. Yeah,
I mean that's the actual sailor logic, is that it has to be female asexual if you name it a male name.
Looking for suggestions, so yeah, let me know.
Any suggestions? So guys, if you have any suggestions, feel free to throw it in the comments what we should call her. I think when we hear her what she sounds like, that'll probably narrow some of the suggestions down. So talk me through, let's have a little look. Where do you want to start? Let's start at the front. Let's start in the engine bay, because that's where all the important stuff is, I guess. So talk me through.
Yeah,
some people will recognize this, some people won't.
Yeah, this is the infamous LS3 6.2 litre V8. I got this crate engine, so this is brand new. I got this quite a while ago. I bought this from Gardner Douglas as well. And then I decided maybe a few years after I got it that I was going to do a cam upgrade on it as well. So I think it's the 430 brake horse as standard. And then you get a little bit more with the Gardner Douglas because of the custom headers and exhaust and the ECU. So you get a little bit more than that anyway.
The fuel rail looks, is that all aftermarket as well?
That's all aftermarket as well.
Upgraded.
And then I ended up getting a cam upgrade kit from Gardner Douglas as well. So I did that last year or maybe the year before. So that's my first ever time, took the engine back out and took it apart. I've done a YouTube video on that as well as a first timer.
So I will link some of your videos because you have done a fair few. So I'll link a video at the end so people can actually come and look at the build process that you've recorded, which would be good.
Yeah, and that was really good fun as well. It was good to learn, and had to buy a lot more kit and learn how to make your own little tools to do bits and bobs. And but yeah, really glad I did that. So that should take it up to approximately 500, 525 is what I'm going to be expecting. So
that's a lot. What does she weigh?
So it'll probably weigh about 1,100 kilos.
That's a lot.
All done. Yeah.
There's a lot of power to weight ratio.
It's not needed. It's pub talk numbers.
Yeah.
Especially with something that's got no driver aids. You know, you got no you got no ABS. You got no traction control. And
so
things
strictly
like that. So
dry weather conditions.
And it's a pure driver's car as well. So that's what it's intended for. Yeah.
Is it possible? I mean, I don't know. Is it possible to fit traction control in through the ECU? Because I know some aftermarket ECUs allow for that.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. I don't think there's going to be anything particularly stopping you. You can do what you can on the car, whatever you like, really. So it depends how far you want to go with it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen people do that before on their Cobras.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd particularly want to, though. I think it's one of those just nice to have a purer.
YOLO, you only live once.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's got some big boy tires on the back, and I think it's just one of those cars. This isn't a car you're gonna absolutely spank around. This is a car you're gonna drive and enjoy.
Well, if I do, it'll be on a track.
Yeah.
And then hopefully I'm doing a bit more GTing on it. That's the plan. Me and the wife, or me and my son, one or the other, under 2 seats. So
I mean, you've got Bedford Autodrome not very far away.
Yeah.
They do open run what you run kind of days there. So
Gardner Douglas, they do that a lot. They organise meets for owners quite a lot, and they go all over the place together. And so there's a lot of opportunity to take it on track and really see what it can do. So
are you gonna
the plan?
Are you gonna be brave and drive it to and from track, or are you gonna get a trailer just in case?
Oh no, I'll definitely drive it. Yeah. No.
I mean, there's also another thing. I mean, I don't know what ECU are you actually running for that matter.
So this one uses a company called Canams. Canams make their own ECUs, and what's great about them is the software is open, so they don't lock it down. So I actually had Dave from Canams connect to the ECU yesterday. He upgraded the map, did a bit of tuning for me, does all that remotely. So yeah, it's really good. And he does a lot of the Gardner Douglas Cobras. He does a lot of other Cobras and other cars as well. So
you'll have to, I'm guessing, once this is actually on the road running, you'll probably take it dyno. Take it to dyno.
Once I've got it through IVA, which is the stage it's at now.
That's the next step is IVA. I would love to come for that. So let me know when that's due, because I would love to get in touch with the company that want to do it and see if we can't get a video out of it.
Absolutely,
It'd be fantastically interesting to see what goes through, because I've never ever IVA'd a vehicle. And I know there's a lot to it, so that would be an interesting thing to see. So, and then also obviously dyno as well. If you do dyno it and stuff like that, give me a shout. I plan to follow this build until it's on the road, and then hopefully come out with you. I don't think I want to drive it though. I'll let you do the driving. I'll do the filming.
Yeah, depends how much insurance you've got.
Yeah, I don't have enough.
But even then, it's one of those things. I've hand built this. It's not even replaceable.
Yeah,
really.
this is your baby.
Problem, so yeah.
So let's have a look at these tires. What have you got going on here?
Yeah, I'll have to read them myself.
Are they MPS Michelin Pilot 5s or something?
4s, I believe.
They are some big 4s, and I know they're not cheap.
275 40s, yeah.
Yeah, they are some honking tyres. And when did you get the wheels? Are they custom?
They're from Image Wheels in the UK. So they do a couple of different types of Cobra wheels, because one of the things you've got to do with the Cobra is it has to have a V8.
Yeah.
And it has to have, in my opinion, it has to have these types of wheels as well.
Yeah, they're very period correct.
Yeah,
style wheels.
Hallebrand wheels is what they're called. Yeah.
Do they have the?
They've got the spinners just over there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, and I've taken them off because they can't go through the IVA. IVA man won't like those. So
So the IVA, basically, we've got to trick the IVA man into going, okay, it's fine, and then we just modify it.
No, you can't. You can't say that. We're not tricking. We're not tricking anyone. This is how the.
Then we do what we like afterwards. It's like passing your driving test. You know, you look over your shoulder every time, and then the minute you pass, you do what you like. No, I think this car is very legit, though. So I don't think there's going to be a huge amount.
No, genuinely, we joke, but the way the Gardner Douglas build their cars, it's it will part. You know, it's not designed to sort of be one car for the test and another car for afterwards.
It's meant to be a road legal.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people
car.
make loads and loads of changes, but this you don't have to do much at all. There are a couple of things, you know, I've had to make sure like the keys radiused here, which is popping out just because I put the key there temporarily. And
Oh, really? It has to.
yeah, everything has to be radius that can be touched with a spherical thing. So I printed these cones out that they used in the IVA test. So that was sort of 100 mil and 160 diameter, I think they are. And then you know the IVA man will test those, and I don't know which size it is, but yeah, I print that as a test, and whatever this hits and touches has to have a 2.5 mil radius, and there's loads of rules. So I'm just going through bit by bit, making sure it's going to pass all of those sorts of things.
It's very, very technical.
Got a nice checklist that Gardner Douglas have provided as well to make sure.
Well, I'd imagine they're probably extremely helpful with the aftercare sort of advice.
Yeah, because they do it all the time.
Yeah. How do you open these doors? They ain't got no handles.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think one thing to say is that some people, with Cobras, people are passionate about, you know, how it looks, whether it, you know, some people are, it must look period, it needs to have 15-inch rims and big fat tyres, and the dash has got to look original. And
yeah, these are 19, right?
So 18.
18, okay,
yeah.
18.
But I couldn't, you know, for me personally, I couldn't care less for it looking original. It's not an original Shelby or AC Cobra. It's my Cobra, so
it's your car.
I wanted it to look a certain way. So with that in mind, I've gone to town with extras that other people perhaps wouldn't. One of them being the button over here. So got a little touch under there to open that.
Nice.
So it removes the need for and I put speakers and stuff in.
Yeah.
None of these are wired up yet, so these will have a tweeter and speakers, and there'll be something in the boot. But I'll do that long after it gets past the IVA. And then I put electronic parking brake there, so there's no handbrake. Normally the Cobras will have a really tight fitting handbrake in the corner over there, which I really didn't like. I've seen people's seats actually ripped up, not having the space, and the actual mechanism is sort of sits underneath the tunnel, and that was an aftermarket system that I purchased, and then it actually uses the existing handbrake cable and pulls out.
Oh, okay.
So the benefit of it is it's because these are notoriously bad when you're using the handbrake with your hands, but this solves all of that sort of stuff because you can get a lot of pull force.
And it's a much cleaner build as well. It's much cleaner to do it that way. You haven't got the handbrake there.
Exactly.
And it's nice. It adds that little modern touch. And I think I've always been a fan of resto mods. Like, I like people taking older stuff and older design stuff and just modernizing the little, tidying up the loose ends, the things that could be better, make them better. And that's one of those examples of something which could be better and you've made it better. Yeah. You know, you could have just gone simple and stuck with a handbrake, but you've decided to go that little bit further and make it a more of a...
It's the balance that I wanted. I wanted things, I wanted the shell's got to look like the original shell, obviously. You know, look, that had that period look, but then you hide away the little bit more modern mod cons away that make it a nicer car to drive, you know. And
this is the thing, I think people get lost a lot with these sort of custom cars, because I've seen recently, and I don't know why, but I don't know if you're familiar with RWB that do the Porsches. Akira Nakai, he basically modifies Porsches to be huge, ultra wide body, and every single one of them is unique. And recently he's been getting a lot of criticism. People are like, oh, he uses all plastic parts and he chops up your car. It's like, that's not really the point of the car. You're missing the complete point. The point is he's making you a very completely custom thing that's yours, one of one. It's the process of making it, and that is going to be an heirloom. It's something that you're going to keep forever, and it's going to be, completely unique to yourself. And that's exactly what this is. It's like there's going to be people out there go, I would have used different wheels, or I would have done that differently.
You definitely get that.
Yeah, but it's not their car, it's your car, and that's the important bit, is that this is what you want, this is what you like, and you've put your time and effort and money into it, so it should be however you want, regardless of what other people think. But I mean, this is fantastic. And like, again, the electric door releases, little touches like that definitely set these sorts of builds, your build, apart from some of the other builds I've seen. It's fantastic, really nice. So does she run?
She absolutely does run.
The $1 million question. Does she run?
She absolutely does run, yeah.
And will we be able to hear it?
Yeah, we absolutely can. Let's get it started.
It sounds really nice.
Should we pull it out?
It's not as bad as I thought. It's not as loud as I thought. It's actually quite decent. I've just noticed you got the yellow lip on this one.
So I'm just trying whether or not I like it, basically.
I like it.
I like it as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. So deciding just finishes off the little bits like that. So I've got tiny bit of yellow here.
Yeah.
And then there was like on the original gear stick, I've got like a gator in leather and the handbrakes leather, and they're all finished off the same. So it goes together. But I'm not going to use, because I've got no handbrake. And this gear stick is only for the IVA as well, so I've got another like American shifter. It looks really nice. That's going to go on afterwards.
Yeah.
So there's not much yellow, so I thought maybe a little bit on the outsides.
I do like the lip. Yeah, I like it.
Just finish it off.
I think that looks very nice, very tidy.
All right, let's pull it out a bit.
All right, let's get her out.
Although the car is not yet road legal, Vikash kindly took it out of the garage so we could see it in the open. It absolutely boggles my mind how much time, money and effort has gone into this build. Vikash has learned all the skills required to make this project work, from welding, fabrication, wiring, engine rebuilding, 3D printing, the works. And this car is an absolute testament to that dedication. I'm determined to follow this project to the end, and I cannot wait to make another episode once this car is actually up and running on the road.
So she sounds absolutely awesome. I'm surprised your neighbours haven't had anything to say about it yet, but
I can't hear them.
But yeah, you can't hear them complaining. Let's have a look at the back, because I haven't actually seen the back properly yet. Yeah, that looks absolutely awesome. Who did the exhaust?
They made the exhaust as well. Gardner Douglas make a custom exhaust for it.
Okay, cool. It's good because it's not stupid loud on idle.
Yeah, and that's intentional because I want it to be, as I said, I don't really want side pipes. And I don't want it too loud. I want it to be able to pass IVA without messing around too much.
Yeah.
And have a good daily driver. When you put your foot down, I want to be able to hear it and have fun with it, but I don't want it to be annoying everyone all the time as well. So
it's very similar. My Mercedes is very similar in that respect, that on idle and cruising along, if you're just plodding along, it's actually it's loud, but it's not stupid. But then when you put your foot down, all of a sudden, that's the old school V8.
It's like the right balance, isn't it? So
that's what you get with the old school V8s. Yeah. The new V8s, I'm not a big fan of like the new AMGs and stuff. They sound very metallic. Yeah. They sound very loud, but not muscle car-y. This sounds like a muscle car should sound. I love it, absolutely brilliant. Is it covered? Any grills going in here?
Yeah, there will be. So I'm just I'm going to print them. I've got one on the other side, which is a prototype version of it. So you can have a look at that, and that's been 3D printed.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
So I'm just trying to decide on what colour I want, and
There's only one colour it's going to be though, isn't it? It's going to be black.
it's got to be black, of course it is, yeah.
Yeah. It looks good though, I really like that.
But it's getting it in the right material, something that's going to, not UV fade and or melt and things like that. So
it's a big learning curve. Fantastic, man. So the next time, actually, I have got another question for you.
yeah.
So this has taken you 11 years. Now you've pretty much done it, assuming it passes IVA without any issues, which I think will be fine. How long do you reckon it's going to take you to make another one? Or how long would it take you, do you reckon, to make another one if you went all out?
Yeah. If I went all out,
Yeah.
I'd do it if that's all I had to do
Yeah.
and didn't have another job to pay
Yeah.
the bills, you'd knock one out in a year, I would say.
Yeah.
Easily, yeah. Easily. I think the time is, making decisions and
Yeah.
learning and,
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. If it was just about getting it done, you'd do it in 6 months to a year if it was full time, yeah.
So you don't think you're going to start a business building these for people?
Maybe.
Could
never
be.
say never. But
Could be a
I
thing.
think the bigger question is what's next? What's
What
the next
is
one
next?
after this?
Do you know what's next?
No, I don't. I mean, Gardner Douglas do another model as well. They do the T70 Motor, which is another famous car from the 60s era. It's stunning. It's even more of a more powerful driver's sports car, if you like. So that's always an option. But I think I want to get a little bit of driving done first.
Absolutely,
and then I'll sort of decide what I want to do next.
I think the thing is as well is once you drive it, you're probably going to instantly get back into it and make some changes, some modifications to make it drive how you want it to drive.
Yeah.
So there will be some adjustments to make once it's on the road. So I think you're going to open a whole nother level of work to do on this car, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think it's fantastic. So what do you reckon? It's a big question. What do you reckon you've spent on it then? Don't worry, my female audience is 1.5%, so it's very unlikely your wife will see
If
this.
you can guarantee my wife doesn't ever watch it, then I'll give you the figure.
I'll bleep it out.
Honestly, I stopped counting at around 50. I think I stopped logging. I don't want to know anymore. So,
Do you reckon you could swap it for a small apartment?
Sorry?
Do you reckon you could part exit for a small apartment?
Well, probably, yeah. yeah.
But
I mean, you can. I think you can build a okay one for about 60. I mean, when I say okay, my level of okay is.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can go north of 100 if you really wanted to be stupid about it as well. So it's completely up to you. But I've definitely gone in between those numbers somewhere. So,
but no regrets. At the end of the day, it's your labour of love. This is your heirloom.
Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, it's about enjoying life and having that visceral feeling and having some fun before everything goes all boring electric everywhere. So
absolutely, yeah.
Some people play golf all the time and spend tens of thousands and more a year on that, right? So the thing with this is I don't really lose money on it. I've spent all that money, but I could probably sell it for a similar amount to what I've spent
easily.
on it. So,
I reckon.
So for me, I could never save money. I'm useless with money. So this was my way of investing and keeping something as well. That's my justification for it.
That makes perfect sense.
That too.
Yeah. It's a bit of a consumer advice here.
Yeah.
No, I think it's brilliant. I really like it. And at the end of the day, this is the thing. It's what we're living for. We work hard all day, every day. And if we can't spend our money doing stuff like this that we really enjoy, then what are you doing? What are you doing with your life?
It's living life, exactly.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's starting to drizzle, so let's get it back inside because I feel bad for it being out into drizzle. I crashed my drone, which is fun. Let's go get that.
Do you want me to give it a rev? You want to go behind and give me?
Go on then. Let's
pop.
1 second. Let me just get that. Let me get this one turned.
Just give it a rev from behind, and then you'll be able to get a bit of noise from behind for it as well.
Go for it. Sounds like an absolute beast. Love it.
Right, I might need your help to guide me in.
Guide you in.
Just keep an eye on that side.
Yeah, you're good here. You're good. You're good. Right, straight. Yeah, I think you're pretty much on it. You're on it, look at that. He's done this a couple of times, guys. It's good to hear working fans as well on a classic car. Or on a kit car, shall I say. You've done that a couple of times, I think.
That's the beauty of, well, yeah, I mean, when you have it tuned, it's got a...
Yeah, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant build. I love it. As I say, as it goes on, keep in touch with me, because I'm sure everyone's going to want to see this go through its test with flying colours.
Now, it'd be amazing to have you along with that journey as well. So, yeah.
I'm up for it. I'm up for it. I definitely want to see, I want to see, you know, get this on the road and just take it out.
Yeah.
You take it out, you know, just let's go out and get what's left of both of our hair while we still have some out in the breeze, and yeah, go on a nice little road trip. I can't wait. It's gonna be fantastic.
Sounds good.
All right, mate. Thank you very much. I'm gonna just gimbal it because I had more than enough trouble today with my cameras. Thank you so much for bringing me
Thanks
here
for coming
to
down,
see
Maxwell.
this.
Amazing.
And
Cheers.
we'll be back. Take care.